God, you're still watching Prime Morning. This segment is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise, still and still phone Papa Pefi. Anytime we come your way, we want to say a very big thank you for making us #1 in your homes. Of course, you can join us on WhatsApp by sending your messages to us, which is 055-157-5757, 055-157-5757. A big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise for always having our back. Now, Franco Trading Enterprise has the authentic gadgets that you need. We don't want any fake sold. So go to Franco Trading Enterprise for all your gadgets. And is it mobile phones you're looking for, television sets, CCTV cameras, tabletop fridges, anything you're looking for, we've got them. Just make sure that you visit any of our shops. Now, we have made things simple for you as well. So you can download the app, which is the Franco Trading app. Now, when you do this download, you can actually purchase any item of your choice through this app and we'll deliver it to you at your doorstep. For further inquiries, you can contact us or you can go to our website, which is www.francotradingenterprise.com. Franco Trading Enterprise, still and still, phone Papa Pefi. Now, I did mention earlier during our intro that today we want to take a look at what is going to be happening in Ablekuma North if only the elections will go ahead. But if not, as it stands now, we heard that the EC says 19 polling stations will have to reconduct elections. However, the NPP is not too happy about it. The NPP says it shouldn't be 19, but rather 3. Now, the NDC earlier did say that they wanted all 37 polling stations to have a re-election. But when they went for a meeting, the recent IPAC meeting, they came out. We don't know what transpired at the IPAC meeting. But from the NPP quarters, they say that they were not in agreement of the 19, but rather 3. Hence, they will be heading to court. Now, they also say that recently they had Bosman Asari, who represented the EC CEO, in Parliament and told Parliament that what they needed was security and not a re-election. So why the sudden turn around? We'll talk about that as well. And this morning, I have my first guest here. He's coming a bit early, so let me introduce him to you. And he's in the person of Honorable Ebenezer Alumri in Debilla, and he is the MP for Zibilla constituency. Good morning, Honorable.
Yeah, good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
Great. Did I get your name right then?
Yeah, perfect.
Fantastic. Oh, I'm doing well now.
Yeah, I did very well. Yeah.
And welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
How are the people of Zimbilla?
Yeah, the people of Zibilla are doing very well. This is a farming season, and the people of Zibilla are very busy on their farms.
What are you farming?
Basically, staple foods like maize.
Okay.
Maize, millet. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, and rice.
That's great.
Good. I know you love rice.
I love rice. How did you know? Almost every Ghanaian likes rice.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Nice. Okay, so next time when you're coming, please make sure that when it's harvest season, bring us some rice.
All right, I will do that.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll quickly read what the newspapers are reporting, and then we can delve into our conversation. But don't forget that you're part of the conversation. We'll be streaming on Facebook as well, so you can leave your comments on Facebook if you're watching us on Facebook, and trust us to read your messages. My name is Roslyn Felly. The first newspaper is the News Center newspaper, the News Center. Obasanjo to ECOWAS, reform or become irrelevant. Wow. Okay. Mahama government to complete National Cathedral. Now, this is quite interesting, you know, because this National Cathedral has come under a bit of, scrutiny in the past. And so it coming up again is becoming a bit dicey now. But then we don't know what's going to happen. It's not a main topic for today, so I don't want to talk too much about it. But maybe tomorrow we'll bring it your way, and we are being told that it's not to be completed as National Cathedral, but it's going to be completed as something else. Honorable, you know about it?
I've heard about it.
You've heard about it.
Yes.
But what do you think about it, though?
Yeah, so, we've always maintained that this is not a period for us to be thinking about the cathedral. There are other national present needs that we need as a country, and so we should not put our focus on building a national cathedral. And so to say that we're going to put it to good use, but that's a very big land on the prime area, and so putting it to good use that will help benefit Ghanaians will also be a very good thing.
All right. So it's supposed to help benefit Ghanaians. Well, that is not our topic, like I said earlier, so I'll push that to the side, and then maybe tomorrow we'll bring that conversation to you. 42 new HIV infections recorded daily in Ghana. That's quite serious to hear, you know. 42 new HIV infections recorded daily in Ghana. Please take care of yourselves. Please and please again. You can actually go ahead and use protection if you can, you know, stop. If you can stop, that's the best. If you can prevent, that's the best. Prevention, or you stop, because somebody will say, I have already started, so I can't prevent, I can stop. If you can't stop and you have to use protection, please use protection. We plead with you because this is quite worrying. Multiple taxes kick in on insurance, real estate, plastics, informal sector, etc. and media to drive Grow 24 with proven MCC models. That'll be it for the News Center newspaper. The next newspaper is Today. Today, Group Indum Management assesses half-year performance. Okay, ArcelorMittal Liberia inaugurates West Africa's largest iron ore concentrator, advancing $1.8 billion mining expansion, and calls for removal of EC boss and deputies increase. Well, the NPP says that this could be the reason why the EC has a sudden turn of not asking for protection from the military or the police, but rather saying that 19 constituencies should go ahead and have re-election. We'll talk about that. The Daily Gist newspaper, The Daily Gist, Ghost returns from Mecca. Mahama snubs Rawlings and Mills. In final ministerial appointment, appoints Baumia's girl senior staffer. EC NPP crossfire over Ablekuma North election dispute, and this is our conversation for this morning. Kofi Bentil strips 24-hour economy policy naked, and Ato Essien pardon petition hits rock. All right, so that will be it for the Daily Gist newspaper. The next newspaper is The Economy Times. The Economy Times. Ghana plans resumption of issuing CD bond from September. Analysts predict single-digit inflation by third quarter amidst threats from utilities price hike. Government to receive $370 million from IMF, optimistic of board approval. And that'll be it for the Economy Times newspaper. The final newspaper is the Ghanaian Publisher. The Ghanaian Publisher. Zoom Lion secures a major deal in Kenya. U.S. investor Rudy Moyes backs Ghana for business, and Reku Brobre accusing me falsely on ECG losses. Afenyo Markin says so. And that'll be all with regards to what the newspapers have to say. Now, Ablekuma North, it's popped up last week and it's still here. And this is our conversation for the morning. And the Daily Gist will term it as EC NPP crossfire over Ablekuma North election dispute. Now, if we want to take you through what has happened in recent times, as of now, for the past 7 months, Ablekuma North has no representative in Parliament. This is because during the elections, there were a bit of violence that took place, hence there wasn't collation done. The issue was taken to court. As of now, EC took it to court and asked for security to be able to collate the rest of the pink sheet. Now, the NDC said that they wanted a re-election in 37 polling stations because they could not accept the pink sheets. And they said those pink sheets were from the camp of the NPP. The boss, that is EC boss, the man who represented the EC boss, Jean Mensah, and he's in the person of Dr. Bosman Asari, did tell Parliament that what they wanted was security, rather not to have re-election. Now, just last week, they went for a meeting, that's IPAC meeting, and during the meeting, they came out to tell Ghanaians that they were going to have re-election, which was supposed to happen on 11th of July. Now, will this re-election happen? I'm asking this question because the NPP is threatening to go to court to put a hold to it and make sure the right thing is done. Because what the NPP is saying, that it shouldn't be re-election, but rather there should be a collation. And if there's supposed to be any re-election, it should happen in only 3 polling stations. Of course, Honorable is here. He represents Zimbabwe. And Honorable, your name, I know Ebenezer. So should I stick to Ebenezer?
Yeah.
Let me stick to Ebenezer.
I would have preferred the alumni.
Alumni, okay.
Yes.
I'll try to.
But if you go Ebenezer, that's fine.
All right, so Honorable, representing the camp of the NDC. Quite interesting. During this turn of events, we are not hearing too much from the NDC. When you were the ones who said that you wanted 37 police stations to be conducted.
Yeah, so thank you very much. So it is true that we requested for a rerun of the elections, especially in the 37 polling stations in the Ablekuma North. And so if this has been our stand, and we have always pushed for this. So if at this particular point, we went to IPAC, and at IPAC we agreed that 19 out of 37 should be rerun. I don't see why we should complain again. At least it was an agreement. IPAC is a consensus-building body where all political parties come together to take decisions. And it's mainly to build consensus. It's not something that is binding, but it's to take consensus that will help make the election process very fair, transparent, and acceptable to all stakeholders. And so to the extent that we went to IPAC and that agreement was reached, we have no reason to come out and complain again that we are not going into the elections. So we are all ready to go into the elections in the rerun for the 19 polling stations.
Isn't it surprising that, Mr. Bosman Asari was in Parliament, you, a member of Parliament, was in Parliament not to seek for a rerun, but rather security to enable them to do a collation. And all of a sudden, there's a change in, having a rerun in 19 polling stations.
Yeah, so I think it isn't that Bosman Asari was in Parliament to seek security support. No, he was invited by Parliament to come and brief Parliament,
and when he did,
on the happenings, and so he suggested that all they needed at the time was security. But it was after meeting Parliament that APAC meeting was held, and that agreement was reached. So it is not out of place that, yes, Bosman Asari said they were looking for security to help them collate the rest of the polling stations, which were even disputed anyway. These 37 polling stations were already in dispute. And so if they come or we go to IPAC, and then the agreement was that, look, let's go and conduct 19 out of the 37 because according to the EC, they were able to provide, or we got information that is understandable to both political parties, and so we should go into the polls to re-elect or to rerun 19 of the polling stations, where the EC has categorically stated that for the 19 polling stations, they do not have their presiding officers endorsing the pink sheets, which is very legitimate. So when that is done, at least you would only agree with them that, look, doing that will help bring legitimacy to the results, will help make everybody agree that and accept the results, so that whatever the outcome of the results will be at the end, everybody will accept it, and all stakeholders will agree and accept the results that will come out of it. But to think that what Bosman Asari requested in Parliament is the final thing, I don't think that is the case, because he said that when IPAC had not met. And so after IPAC's meeting, a decision is reached. And I think that decision should be supreme to his message in Parliament.
Right. Now, talking about that, you did say that Mr. Bosman Asari, maybe he came to Parliament, he was invited to Parliament, where he said that the security they needed. Didn't he know at that time, I know you don't speak on behalf of them, but, as you sit in Parliament, as a member of Parliament representing the NDC, didn't he know that at that time they didn't have their polling station agents having their signature on those pink sheets?
So like you rightly put it, I don't speak for the EC.
Yes.
But even when he came to Parliament, we still pushed him. We pushed him. Why are you still insisting on conducting the elections in the 3 polling stations, or collating the results in the 3 polling stations, when there are still several irregularities in the 37 other polling stations? So we insisted that, look, the right thing to be done and to have everybody on board, so have everybody agree to the results that you are churning out, will be to have a rerun. And that will make the whole process very transparent, acceptable to every Ghanaian, and especially giving Ablekuma North the best candidate, the candidate that they actually voted for. And so, to me, it is not about when he did that, but it is about doing the right thing. And I believe that this was the right time. And this is the right thing that we are now coming out with.
So this is the right thing in the minds of the NDC. Now, you know, some people are also of the opinion that because your party chairman was on, one of our media stations, that is Joy News, to say that he thinks that the three bosses of the EC should be changed. That is the reason why the EC seems to be kowtowing to the NDC.
Unfortunately, those people are entitled to their opinions, but I don't think so. The national chairman spoke his mind. He said what he believes is the right thing to be done. And he said that the Electoral Commission needs a reset. As I sit here, I believe so. And that the entire NDC believes that the Electoral Commission needs a reset. And this is not something that I know from the EC stuff. They know that this is not something that can prevent if there's a need for a reset. This one cannot prevent that. And so I don't think that they are kowtowing to what the national chairman said, but they are doing the right thing, so that even when they are no more there, at least there will be some footprints to show that, okay, there was an error some time ago that they committed and went back to correct it themselves. All
right, thank you so much. Hon Ebenezer Nartey has joined us and he represents the NPP. Good morning, Honorable.
Good morning, Rosaline.
How are you?
I'm blessed, and you?
I'm fine, thank you. And thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Thank you.
All right. Now, Honorable, you represented the NPP in the IPAC meeting. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Fantastic. Now, so you be the right person to tell us exactly what happened in that meeting.
Thank you, Rosaline. Let me say good morning to our viewers and good morning to my colleague here. And let me say that today, it's like you have changed your everything about you, because look, I see today you are from a different world.
Hey, how?
That's Rosaline. But when I was just doing my makeup, I was asked, is that Rosaline? You look, I see today she's in a different world.
How? Which
it reminds me that today we have a lunch. That's why.
You make your point, yes.
Yes. Last week, Tuesday, the meeting is supposed to be held on Monday, and they postponed the meeting to the next day, which is Tuesday. And I happens to be at the meeting with our Director of Elections, Evans Nemakum. The NDC was represented by the Deputy General Secretary, Maudi, and then lawyer Ejudi Temaku. And I must say that is the fourth time we have attended a meeting in respect of Ablekuma North. The fourth time. In all these cases, the Electoral Commission, the first one, was chaired by Bosman Asari. The second, the third, and the fourth one was chaired by Jane Mensah herself.
Okay.
The first time we went for the meeting, the Bosman Asari chaired group made us aware of where they have gotten to in respect of Ablekuma North. In fact, it was Samuel Tete who gave us what they have done so far in respect of collating the results in Ablekuma North. Ablekuma North have 281 polling stations. 281. Mm-hmm. As at the time of the incident, as at the time when both political parties, the Electoral Commission, research, presiding officers and all those things were beaten and all those things, at that time, per the EC, they have collated only 165. Mm-hmm. Only 165, as at that time. So it was left about 116 left to be collated, added to what they have to be 281. Mm-hmm. And then they made us aware that on the 9th of December 2024, 9th December 2024, the NDC produced 54 carbon sheets. The carbon is the duplicate of the pink sheets. You know, when they write the results, they give all political parties a copy. The NDC brought 54 out of the 160 that is left. So they added that one to the initial 165. Then, on the 21st of December, 2024, the NPP also brought 25 out of the remaining one that is left. So they give us all the sequence as how they have arrived at the 278 left 3 to be added to the 281. So we asked them, with the pink sheets that the NDC and an NPP brought, did you verify it? Did you check whether these are authentic pink sheets from your office being signed by your POs? They confirmed yes. And even to extent of inviting both NDC and NPP agents to confirm whether indeed these results were collated at this particular polling stations, and all the parties agreed. In fact, to extend that, they also invite their POs who brought the document to also come and verify it. So they went through all those processes. So it was left with 3 polling stations for them. So at one of our meetings, I even asked them, so the 3 polling stations, is it that you don't have results from both parties? Is it that you don't have the results from your officers that you invited them? Is it that you don't have the results from anywhere? They said, yes, you don't have the results. So the question is, so what do we do about these 3 polling stations? It was a back and forth issues. This person said this person said this. Then the EC said, okay, then let's postpone the meeting. Parties should go and discuss it, and we invite you again. In fact, it took them like about a month, and then we invited again. Prior to that, at the meeting, they made us aware that they have even informed IGP to give them personnel for the coalition of the 3. We said, okay, fine, we're here. We hope and believe that IGP will provide you the security to get this thing done. A week later, we had an invitation from IGP. When we went for the meeting, unfortunately, we had the information very late. So the NDC attended the meeting without us. So the next day, for fair...
Which of the meetings? Is it the 4th June one?
Yes.
Okay.
For fairness, the IGP also decided, look, since NPP were not able to attend the meeting previously, let me also invite them to also hear their side of the story. So we went the next day, and they asked about our position in this resource. So we gave them all the information we are supposed to give them in respect of what we have done, what the EC have told us, and where we have gotten to. Then they said, yes, when your colleagues came the next day, a day before, when your colleagues came, they also of the view that, look, for them, they still stand by their point that, look, they are not going to allow that 3 polling stations to whether rerun, whether collated, for the results to be declared.
Okay.
So we answered with the police and we left. Then the second meeting, which was chaired by Jane Mensah herself, after opening the meeting, asked Samuel Tete to brief us as to what they have done. He went through the same process at which he said in our first meeting. It was a back and forth because it's like everybody have taken an entrenched position.
Right.
So the meeting has to be postponed. We went for the 3rd time, the same. Until last week, Tuesday. In fact, the meeting is supposed to be held on Monday. as to whether how they changed their mind to be Tuesday. Fine. So we went to the meeting. Then, for the third meeting, Ebenezer said, this is the position now. Now they have to collate the three. The NDC is saying no. The NPP is saying yes. The EC is also saying yes, that we need to collate the three. And that the problem now is security. So we should go and discuss the various political parties and come back to them.
So not the 19 that they are saying that they did not have.
All our meetings, there has never and ever been 19 polling station issue.
Did you know that there wasn't a signature from the presiding officers on 19 polling station pink sheet?
If there is, the EC should have said this from day one.
Okay.
Because they said all the pink sheets that they have collected as at the last week Tuesday we went for the meeting. They invited both NDC and NPP agents and their presiding officers who mounted the election at the various police stations to come and authenticate whether indeed this is coming from the EC. And they accepted it. Rosalie, you know the funny thing about this? The same issue happened in Dominic, which was left with 2 polling stations. You know what the EC did to declare the NDC candidates a winner? A tally sheet. Tally sheet is what we give to our agents at the various police stations that we have written 1, 2, 3. So if one person comes, you just come and that is what they use to collate the Domi Kwabenya results to declare the NDC member of parliament today. The scanned copy that they are talking about, this is a copy given to political parties. For us in NPP, what we always do, we always give smartphones to our agent. As soon as you get your pin sheet, you take a picture, you scan it, and send it to the constituency coalition center. It goes to the regional coalition center and then the national coalition center. So that's how come we have our scanned copy. So I asked, if you have called your agents, you have called your POs to find out whether indeed this is coming from you, and they have confirmed, then why a sudden U-turn?
Okay.
Meanwhile, these, how do you call it, tally sheets that you use, Domi Kwabenya, were coming from political parties.
Okay, Honorable Ebenezer Nartey, just to find out, the last IPAC meeting, did you agree to the 19th?
We never agreed. In fact, we even said at the meeting, which she herself even told the one who was recorded, that he should put on record that we in the NPP, we are saying that we are not agreeing to the U-turn of the Electoral Commission.
Okay.
I even asked her a question. That, look, you say yes, police, IGP is telling you that they cannot provide you security for 3 police stations. Can IGP provide you security personnel for 19 police stations? Then you tell, oh, that was it's subject to the media and it's subject to Ghanaians to judge.
Okay.
And I said, you see, 4 days ago, the NDC chairman told you, in fact, I told her there, so the NDC said, you are incompetent. And based on what he has said, you have done what you think that will favor them.
You think that the EC is making this decision because of what Chairman has said?
Let me tell this and read my lips. And I hope Jane is watching. If you don't, somebody should call her and listen. Look, no amount of imagination, no amount of giving the NDC to test majority in parliament will have President John Mahama and the NDC to change their mind on the 3 of them. In fact, the 3 people who will go and represent them has already been appointed. They are just waiting for the president to remove them and bring them.
Okay.
So no amount of their imagination that, oh, we are doing this to favor. I told her there.
But Honorable has said it. He said the same thing. He said you are going to change them, right?
I never went categorical.
Okay, what did you say?
What I said is that even if my national chairman is calling for a reset of the Electoral Commission, whatever is happening now cannot change the dynamics.
Okay. All right. So that's what you
said. I've maintained that the EC needs to be reset.
Okay. So you said...
And we stand by that.
You stand by.
So,
right,
Rosalie,
fantastic.
To conclude with it.
Please conclude in 30 seconds because I've given you a lot of time.
I was so disappointed in the Electoral Commission. Reason being that if you know from day one that you have 19 of your POs. So if you go to Parliament, with my colleague was there when they came to present their report, and even told Parliament, swear under oath in Parliament and say that there is no way they are going to do a rerun because it will set as a bad precedent in this country. Because, in fact, one of the meetings, the third meeting, Jane herself said that if you go and do a rerun, what is going to happen is that in the next election, if a group of people or a political party believe that they have the people who can create confusion, they will go and do it in an opposition's stronghold and will say, let's go for a rerun.
Okay. Honorable.
But my last disappointment is her. Please, sorry.
No, you have. No. I'll come back to you.
No,
so
my last disappointment with her. At the meeting, she said, and that was Tuesday, and he said, even if, after doing the presentation, he said, even if we have to do this, we'll do it in 2 weeks' time. And we even inform you, we'll call you again before we take a date for the election. And I said, even in 2 weeks' time, but he was doing some calculation with Bossman. Okay. And Bossman said, 2 weeks' time it will be either 14th or 16th. And then even jokingly, I said, the 16th is my birthday, so don't go and do election because we will not even take part. Just to leave the EC's office, get into our national office, then a statement came from EC, you are doing rerun of 19 police stations on the 11th. Meanwhile, you said, in 2 weeks, even if you have to do by 2 weeks, it will be either 14th or 16th. Okay. And you say you will even invite her to take a decision before. All right. Because we're even complaining that even if you have to run the election, it is subject to the finance minister's approval.
All right, fantastic. Nana, let me introduce Nana to you too, because Nana is here. Nana Elsafon is representing the movement for change this morning. And quite interesting, I must say. As it stands now, EC is in the middle. You know, EC is supposed to be an independent body, but it seems any party that goes into opposition sings the tune that EC is in bed with the sitting government. I don't know why this is happening. I don't know why we still can't accept the EC as an independent body. But your take on this whole Ablekuma North Re-Run elections that's supposed to take place on July 11th, sorry.
Thank you very much, Rosalind, and good morning to my colleagues and my brothers. It's unfortunate. My apologies for coming late.
That's what you always do. You always come late.
I first of all would start from where you had ended. I personally, after attending 1-2 meetings of the IPAC, I stated that I had trust issues with the EC. And I think that I had made the same statement right here on this platform before the elections. And I had said that the NPP seemed to be endorsing every single move and statement that did come from the EC. The NDC seems to be against almost every single move because maybe they are in opposition. But when the tables turn, they would also turn. And we had stated that, listen, there is a CI that regulates the electoral process. Election is a process. We don't just get up to hold elections. We don't just get up to collate results. There is a process. And the CI 126 of 2020, which was amended for 2024, has the procedure that is supposed to be followed. So if the electoral commissioner and her deputies, 2 deputies, had gone accordingly to the processes and the procedures in the CI 126 and had acted firmly by the law, we wouldn't be here today. If Dan Parry at the time had listened to some of our statements and our concerns when they first had met the political parties and the representatives of presidential candidates at the police headquarters with regards to the venues for the collation of results and the security that will be provided and the kind of procedures they were going to use, we wouldn't have been here where we are today. There wouldn't have been burning of ballot boxes and ballot papers and whatsoever. At the time of the elections, everybody around power, the IGP, the electoral commissioner, seems to have had, I didn't know, they share some friends saying
earbud
in their ear
or earplugs.
They were not hearing anything. All right, you go for meetings, and it was like, you know, when we're kids, you go for headmaster's assembly, and yours is just to listen to the announcement. And so they call for a meeting, and it is a meeting that takes about 2, 3, 4 hours, and every single concern of yours was, they'll make time to listen, but at the end of the day, they've made their decisions. And at a point, I remember I had a banter with Jane, and she told me, point to the plan. You know, in the media, everybody was there. That, listen, they are controlling the elections. They are in charge. We cannot come and then dictate to them, and we cannot hold them hostage. And I told her, nobody's holding you hostage. You have kept us over hours, and we are only pouring out our concerns. We are only telling you what you ought to do, per the law. You understand me? But I think that they had their own mindset. They had their own way of doing their things. And that is where we are today. Election is a process. Let us follow what the process is. Now, if you had listened to the EC very well, you notice that the issues they had was with more than 3 or 19 polling stations. I think it all had to do with about 30-something.
37. 37.
Initially 62.
62.
Yeah.
And then they were, according to the EC, the NPP was able to provide them with 34 or so of their scanned copies of their pink sheets.
25.
And so, 25, okay, so the figures, I stand to be corrected. Now, it means that they, the EC themselves, did not have copies. Now, my question is, how would somebody who is supposed to be in charge of an election have no possession of their own pink sheet, your own material? Meanwhile, when it comes to the polling station or when it comes to the coalition center, the person who received the topmost security is the electoral commissioner's representative. That is the presiding officers and the temporary workers who are there. They receive the topmost security assistance. And you would tell me that you do not have copies of all of this and you would have to rely. And if they recall, some of my colleagues who were at IPAC meetings were with me. I think that day, I don't know, it was McMahon or it was Obiamon who represented the NPP and then plus Evans. I asked this particular question. Why would there even be an instance where we would have to rely on a political party's rep to give us a pink sheet or a coalition results sheet?
If the political party's reps have it, why don't you have it?
Why don't you have it?
Okay.
How are they able to keep theirs and you are not able to keep yours? You cannot tell me that...
In the answer to that was that where they kept, and if you remember, where they kept all their documents, including the ballot boxes and everything, someone went and put fire into that place. And in fact, even at the meeting, that's why I said,
why don't you tell us this?
Okay.
But that's true.
No,
we all know.
That's what they said.
Yeah, but that's true.
Okay, but you know,
it's true.
It's fine.
They were not able to provide security.
Just speaking.
Provide security where?
Okay, so
because
this is what they said. This is what
they have a particular time that you have to transport all the ballot papers in previous elections to the EC's head office. You cannot just because we finish election today, the next day you send all. It's always been at the electoral commission office at the district level. And honorable member, you are a member of parliament.
But you know that there was dispute.
Right.
Yes,
there was dispute.
No,
at the time.
Wait, no, I'm coming.
I'm saying that
Eben,
the EC have a time to transfer the ad materials to the regional office, where they keep all these documents because you have to take some time in case there's a situation like this.
Fantastic. But you see, as of now, the question is even to do with EC, not NPP, because the issue here is why is it that UEC, NPP can provide this, NDC can provide this, but UEC, you can't provide.
And I'm saying that yes, is the one that was
on behalf of them.
No, that's what they said.
No, because what Ghanaians want right now is we are asking, rhetorical questions here. And the question we are asking is not for NPP to speak on their behalf.
No, I'm not speaking on their behalf. I'm just telling you what I know, and that is a procedure. When you finish, at the polling station and the results is declared and we all accept and append our signature to the pink sheet, the EC put everything in the ballot box and seal it, and the political parties even seal it in addition to it. And that's where they kept it, in the school, a whole school.
Yes, which ends.
And
yes.
even they themselves said that they have videos at our meeting, the third meeting. She said they have videos of people who went to do some of these things. And I asked her, if you have videos, why don't you give to the police and get those people arrested and dealt with? Because some of these things that happen at Ablekuma North, they are criminal issues.
Okay.
In your office, people went and vandalized things. People were tearing pink sheet in front of your offices. And you have videos. In fact, it's been showed on TV. And we all know about it.
And none of these pink sheets were digitalized.
That's one day, unless you ask them.
So that's what the question here is.
That is why you should not be speaking for them.
In the year 2025, we shouldn't be having issues like this because we know that there's digitalization. So if there is, we shouldn't hear that, pink sheets were burnt, but we don't have records of it. It shouldn't be happening in this era. Yes, Nana.
These were concerns that were raised at the IPAC. These were concerns that were raised when the IGP and the other security agencies met with political parties and representatives of presidential candidates. Some of us raised these concerns. How are we able to protect our pink sheets? All right. Now, how are party foot soldiers able to access coalition centers? And I put it on record. The EC almost refused us independent presidential candidates and smaller political parties agent tax that would allow us into coalition centers. We had to fight for it. I'm on national television. They should come and challenge it. They should come and challenge it. It was a reverend minister who was in charge. I've forgotten her name.
The woman, the Anglican.
Yes. Later, when I fought and every single person there was refusing to talk to me, they told me she was in charge, so I should call her. And I'm saying it on national television. I'm saying it. We had issues with it. And you can call what's his name? The tall one that took us through the orientation. I've forgotten their names. I deleted their names from my head. For Tete and Bossman, their issue is a separate matter.
Okay. Is it Reverend Ekwa?
Ekwa, yes. She was said to be in charge of the tax. we struggled. In fact, it is even on my Facebook page. I posted it there. I actually had exchanges with some regional directors of the Electoral Commission. When my agents went there, and then they could not have access to those tax. Yet, you could not prevent ordinary party foot soldiers from accessing coalition centers. The processes need to be clear. And it is not a one-man show. I don't think anybody went to school to go and learn election processes. Even Afarijan, who is the brain behind all our processes and our regulations, still told Ghanaians that he didn't know it all.
All right. So as it stands now, the NPP is threatening to go to court because of...
That is a very good threat.
Yes.
And I was excited...
Not that we are threatened, we are in court.
And have you filed?
Yes.
And I was excited...
When did you file?
We did that on Friday.
You did it on Friday.
I was excited when I heard that the NPP wanted to go to court. If at the end of the day, it helps the growth of our democracy. You understand me? The processes and everything should be tested in court. That's why I said that there is a law that backs the elections. The procedures are in the law. And if we want to test the law, we go to court. So if you have issues with the processes the EC is going through, then go to court. But personally, I do not trust the electoral commissioners. As for the three of them, I have never trusted them. The day I stepped foot at IPAC, and I listened to their submissions, that was the day I lost every single trust I had in the commissioners. And I have stated, even before the elections, that after the 2024 elections, no matter who became president, no matter which political party or independent presidential candidate took over government, there was the need to move them. If they wanted us to have a clear, clean, truly fair electoral process, then the 3 of them ought to go.
They ought to go.
I had stated.
But this is a case whereby they are being fair, because now you're not hearing the NDC complain about the fact that there's going to be a rerun in 19 polling stations. But the NPP, funny enough, they are not too happy.
You see, the NDC is not. The NDC is not happy.
You're not happy?
The NDC.
Okay, I'll let you come in very soon.
The NDC is just trying to play safe.
Okay.
Now they are relying on some way, somehow, the goodwill that His Excellency the President is enjoying the people of Ghanaians. So their hope and anticipation is that, listen, if the President has goodwill with the people, then automatically our parliamentary candidate is going to have enjoyed that same.
Right. Is that so? Because the Honourable is here, so he can speak to it.
So it cannot be the case that we are not talking. I think our National Election Director, Dr. Hon Ebenezer has spoken about this rerun. We had made proposals that we wanted the 37 polling stations rerun. And it has been our position all along. And so if at this particular point, it is a bargain, we went to IPAC and the agreement is that, look, we cannot do the 37. Out of the 37, 18 of the 18 out of these 37.
Okay.
We can verify that our presiding officers, the EC presiding officers, endorse the pink sheets.
Right.
And our people were at IPAC. NDC was fully represented at IPAC and authenticated that, yes, the 18 people actually signed on to those documents. And so there are 19 pink sheets that were not endorsed by the Electoral Commission staff. And so it is not like we are not talking, but yes, like my brother here said, we are very hopeful that given the fact that we have come in and we are doing a lot of things, people are happy, Ghanaians are happy with us. There's a goodwill that the government is enjoying because of the economic transformation that is taking place. So we're hoping that the people of Ablekuma North would want a representative from the NDC, Madame Erabena, to represent them in Parliament, so that this massive development that is coming into the country will also reflect in Ablekuma North. So my brother here knows that. He knows that if you go to Ablekuma North today, there's no way you can make it. And that is why they are, they are very wild and fighting very hard.
Are you sure that's what they know?
Oh yeah, I think he's fully aware. He knows.
To the NPP, they won, with regards to the pink sheets that you have, you know that the people voted for you.
So
right?
why this sudden U-turn? Why not go into the process? If you believe that you won squarely and there's a rerun, you go into it again. I fought with you and I floored you. And say you don't agree. Let's go in again. I'll floor you again. Very simple as that. Why do they have to be agitating? I think they should go into the elections and then at least actually prove that they actually won the first round as they are claiming.
Okay. Hon Ebenezer Nartey, you are in court as it stands now. What do you want the court to do for you? Is it an injunction or what?
Roslyn, court has already ruled that the Electoral Commission is to go and do collation of the number of constituencies, which Ablekuma North was part of it. I think about 7 or 9. You have done 8 of it. There's no problem. The people have been sworn in as members of parliament and they are doing their work. Ablekuma North was part of that constituencies that we took to court, and court gave a verdict. That is why we are going back to the same court, that the directive you gave to Electoral Commission, they are doing different things from what you asked them to. So court, this is what we have brought to you. This is the Electoral Commission. Let's pay out. But Roslyn, you see, the 19 polling stations that we are talking about, the Electoral Commission initially said 3. Interestingly, the 19 polling stations that they say we should go and do a rerun, 2 of the 3 that they are talking about are not even part of the 19. In fact, at the meeting, they made us aware that we have the 3 police stations are Gloryland Hotel, that have 403 polling people to vote. Church of Pentecost, Tribua, have 411. And the Lighthouse Gospel Church have 188. These 3 polling stations that they said is in contention, I say 2. It's not part of the 90. So the question that you ask yourself, do you have records of these 3 polling stations? So you see the inconsistency when it comes to the EC and their communication to the people of this country. That is why I've said that, look, no amount of giving the NDC to test as they are fighting. Look, let me tell you, let me give you an history. In 1998, in my constituency, Ablekuma Central, we lost the sitting member of parliament, CS Scrap. At that time, the NDC need just 1 seat in 1998 to change the constitution of this country to give the late President Rawlings an opportunity again. But the people in Ablekuma Central resisted and fight for the right of the people of this country. And we won that seat in 1998. I want J. Mensah and his people to understand that no amount of imagination, no amount of conniving, no amount of giving somebody a majority in parliament will work. The people in Ablekuma North will follow the suit of Ablekuma Central in 1998 to ensure that the right thing is being done. Okay. And let them understand that I'm telling them, I said the 3 people that will go and replace them, those 3 people have already been appointed. They are just waiting for the process.
By you, eh?
They are just waiting for the process to remove them. So whatever they think that they are doing in the favor of the NDC or in the favor of any political party is a lie.
Okay, so...
And because we have had a lot of people during the election.
Yeah.
During the election, my own brother and friend, Sami Jemfi, oh, security people, these people will sack you. These people will sack you. All the people that he listed, that they are going to sack them, have they not sacked them? All the people. Now he's left with you only the EC. After EC, the only thing that they will say is that they will ask those of us in NPP who are married that our wives should leave us.
I'm sure my
brother here. I'm sure NPP.
At this point, where
I'm not invited.
the dollar has been stabilized. At this point where you can have access to food.
All right, so
food.
When students, food. Your children in school are jubilating, you know. They're celebrating. Of course.
In what way?
Of course, they're getting better food. Of course.
Gentlemen.
The children in secondary school. Like when there was just 2 weeks ago, you might consider our people, our students are enjoying.
Today's your birthday.
Oh, yeah, July born. Anyway, behave like that. Happy birthday.
So, thank you, my brother. Thank you.
So we have a lot of messages coming in on Facebook wishing you a happy birthday.
Wow.
And but I will take the other messages, and then when we're about to end the show, I will read your birthday messages for you. That's okay. So because that's very important, but we'll read it after. So let me start with these ones. So greetings to my MP, Ebenezer Nartey with his great submission. I equally want to use this platform to wish him happy birthday, more blessings upcoming as you live to represent the good people of Zimbabwe and Ghana as a whole. This is Atusum Yakubu watching you live in Western Region in Aguna Wasa. All right. So Musa Abatwa says, with all due respect to NPP, stance on Ablekuma North Re-Run is unattainable. They are misleading the public. The EC's claim that they needed police protection to continue the process doesn't automatically mean the collation was completed. Let's be fair and objective, devoid of partisan interest. If a referee reviews VAR and changes a decision for the sake of fairness, what's wrong with that? At the end of the day, we all want a transparent and credible process. That's what matters most, and not political jiggles. Okay. DJ Opai Dimo from Kumasi Swami 2028. The only thing that can grant the victory of NPP is unity, since NDC government is full of corruption. Greetings to Dr. Baumia, Chairman Odenehu Kwekuapia, Honorable Maxwell Ofosubuachi. All right, greetings to all of you. James Alatega, a fantastic show this morning. Greetings to Honorable Ebenezer Nartey in Dibela, MP for Zibela. We are proud of you, sir. Honorable Boachi says, good, please, I'm not getting the NPP man argument, because he started by saying Ablekuma has about 200 polling stations and there were about 170 left not collated.
281.
81.
We're not
yes.
listening.
So he did mention 281. Okay. So, well, he used the word about. So if he says about, he didn't give an exact figure. All right. So let's pardon him. How come 52 and 25 scan sheets from both parties are mounted the 100 and above not collated, leaving only 3? Please explain further. Thanks, Ebenezer. I think we've explained this a lot, or I'm not. Okay. Isaac Atabra, please, what time the BC results will come out? Isaac, they will let you know, okay? And Henry John Senior, meaning Ghanaians aren't using condoms, HIV. Wow. Well, yes, because we're hearing that 47 persons test positive every day. Can you imagine? Every day in Ghana here. That's quite worrying. So what the person is saying is good. Nana Ikwamo Boateng says the Electoral Commission sudden U-turn to rerun election and even increasing the polling stations from 3 to 19, which they have in many instances said they will continue with the collation of the results, is simply shocking. Are they doing this to protect their jobs over their integrity? This move is very ridiculous and will further deepen the mistrust that people have towards the EC. Anyway, special greetings to Honorable Bright Esilfi Kumi, incoming National First Vice Chairman of NPP. All right. Akisime Sefibekoi says that good morning, beautiful Rosalind. Good morning, Honorable Akisime. The final say in the Ablekuma North election rerun should rest in the Electoral Commission as a constitutional body responsible for conducting elections. However, the court's role is crucial in ensuring that the process adheres to the law and electoral regulations. Ultimately, both institutions must work together to ensure free, fair, and transparent elections. Regards to Honorable Bright Asamoah Barefo, all right, MP for BBNE. Daniel Transa Opong, the wise King Solomon and his wisdom, taxed the soldiers to share in equal proportion of a baby 2 women were fighting over. The woman who has already agreed to this suggestion had killed her baby. Why is NDC happy about the rerun of 19 police stations? They should tell you they never won. Ekwe Free will come out victorious because Honorable Ebenezer Nartey, good morning. Daniel Opon, incoming youth organizer, Ablekuma Central. Atibila Matthew is wishing you, Honorable, so now I can wish you, Honorable, a happy birthday because the messages are now coming in. Atibila Matthew says, good morning and happy birthday to my Honorable Member of Parliament for Zibela constituency. Karim Sadat Aduku also says happy birthday to the Member of Parliament for the good people of Zibela constituency. And Precious says, greetings to my Honorable MP Ebenezer Ndebela Alumere with his great submission. I equally want us to use this platform to wish him a happy birthday. More blessings upcoming as you live to represent the good people of Zibela and Ghana as a whole. This is Atusumoke. I did this already. Piti Brim? TK. It's another brand new week, and Dr. Brian Champo, the outstanding gentleman who is coming to liberate NPP from 2024 election governance, is like drought when you are standing watching. Let easy play. NDC fixed the Galamsey issue, the state emergency you were talking about during the term of the NPP. Gatsiman, this is, he says he's from Brekum. This is pure manipulation of the NDC, so I won't blame the EC. This is exactly how they bully the institutions of the state to work in their favor whenever they are in power, forgetting that power is transient. Hopefully, the NPP will be led by Dr. Baumia by God's grace to bring sanity and fairness. Ghana deserves a leader with compassion and not with manipulation for greed and power. Musa Abattoir, with all due respect to NPP stance on Ablekuma North Re-Run is, I think I've done this one already, all right? So I think I've done most of this, all right? Then I can actually take my seat. But you can keep your messages coming in. And let's see if we'll read more of them. Let me see if we have some Facebook, WhatsApp messages. Okay, we'll be going on WhatsApp pretty shortly. For those of you who we want to read your messages, who have sent your messages to us on WhatsApp, we'll be reading your messages pretty shortly. But quite interesting, the kind of messages that are coming in. Some people feel that, listen, looking at what it is now, the EC is not being too far.
The EC not being too fair?
Yeah, some people feel the EC is not being fair. Maybe they want to maintain their seats.
The EC,
Do you think the EC wants to maintain their seats?
Which seat?
The seats that they sit on, the three bosses of the EC.
No. I don't think so. I think at one of the meetings, they made it clear that they are not, what they want to do is to work. They are not interested in maintaining any seat. And so they are working. And of course, it's not a permanent seat.
Of course.
And being a commissioner is not a permanent seat. And I think they had work doing before they were appointed as commissioners.
Commissioners, yeah.
Madam is a lawyer.
So this particular decision that they've taken...
Bosman was a lecturer.
Yeah.
Tete, I don't know what he was, but I think that he was also working. He was with the EC.
Now, do you think this decision that they've taken is not because of what the chairman for the NDC party said on Joy News about a week ago, that he thinks that these three people should be removed for others to come and work because the EC needs a reset?
Do you think that if that decision was taken, it would have been taken based on the statement that was made by the Chairman General Mosquito? I do not think so. If a decision was taken to remove them, all right, by the processes that they ought to go, it would have been a decision even taken before His Excellency the President became president. You understand me? Because, as I said, election is a process. And so if you are seated and you want to be president of Ghana and you look at the work they are doing and the steps they are taking and you think that they will not help the democracy of this country, I don't think that it is when you have taken over power that you will decide. And as I said, I personally had a feel that they should go even before we held the elections in December, on the 7th of December.
Okay. All right.
What he said. So it is not as if somebody would take a decision based on
why did you want them to go before?
Oh, I stated it. The statements they've made during IPAC meetings.
And all of that.
The decisions that were taken, how they went about their things. How Bosman even chairs a meeting.
Okay. How does he chair a meeting?
Sometimes...
How does he chair a meeting, Anna?
As if he was the pot of wisdom of elections in Ghana.
Yes.
And I said, listen, even Afarijan, who is the brain behind almost everything we are seeing today, would not act that way.
All right. Thank you so much. There's a message coming in from Honorable Timothy Awantri Matabuade. He's watching us this morning. Good morning, Honorable. He says, good morning, Roslyn. Is that Honorable Ebenezer Nartey? Hey, 6 months of President John Dramani Mahama. He has blossomed like that. Nothing can be compared to good governance.
Of course.
It's difficult for him to fit in a chair he has sat on for the past 8 years. Wait, be watched. Roslyn, beg him for me so that he can equally teach me. The energy and strength and passion Honorable Ebenezer is exhibiting this morning on EC is exceedingly amazing and amusing. And the energy that runs through his soul can generate 10 megawatts to help argument the shortages. Okay, so this coming from Honorable at Awantri Matabuade.
Just tell him that I'm still waiting.
He's watching you though.
Yeah, I know. Because he watched me on Mondays, I watch him on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
And I always send him messages. I know you send.
Yes.
And I'm just telling him I'm still waiting for his appointment.
Oh, but it's not everybody that will get
No, you see,
No.
Let's be fair.
It's not everybody.
There are certain group of people the NDC not need to deny them any opportunity.
All right.
Because you and I know the contribution of Honorable Timothy.
God's time is the best.
I don't
Let's
think
move
they
on to
are
our
even
next.
with their
Let's
They
move
tell
on to
that
our
we
next
always tell
conversation.
teachers that your reward is in heaven is not more. But what about if the person doesn't go to heaven?
But appointments over.
The appointments are
Appointments
Are you
are
are you a member of the NDC?
No, but appointments are no.
You see, the last time when I said you speak for them,
Okay, I'm telling you, appointments are
You
over.
never had an appointment during
Appointments are over. Government is still appointed.
quite
So
you know what I was doing.
Politics,
So you don't know what-
anyway, decongestion
you speak for the NDC now.
about a month ago.
But you are my brother. You never got an
Gentlemen,
I know you have been appointed a member of the communication team. Which, that one I know. And you are refusing.
Of where?
That is your own
Of
problem.
NDC.
Oh, no.
That's your own problem.
no.
All right, so about a month ago, there was a decongestion
This is
exercise
propaganda.
in central Accra, and we want to do a follow-up of it as to how it's going now. People actually did say it was just a 9-day wonder. It wasn't going to last. It was something. And you, Hon Ebenezer Nartey, you did say that it wasn't going to work. It was just going to be a 9-day wonder. They do it, and then the traders will return back to the same place. Do you think that they've returned? I haven't been to Accra. Have you been to Accra in recent times, though?
Rosalind, I was thinking that before you bring this topic, you send your cameras to go there.
Don't worry, our cameras are there, so I'll show
So
you.
we'll
But I
see
want to hear from you first. Our cameras are there now.
Rosalind, the last time I said that if and only if the mayor of Accra will have the political will to deal with the issues that he claimed he's going to do, I'll give him the applaud. And I said, look, if he's able to do it up to the end of this year, then it will succeed. But Rosalind, I think 2-3 weeks ago, I said that I reminded you on the set that I've been to Accra. The very day I said, a day before I went to Accra. That is why when I came here I went there on Friday. That is why when I came on Monday, I repeated it, because the issues that he raised, the thing that he decided to do, on that day when I went there, it is different altogether. In fact, he took me almost about 1.5 hours. 1.5 hours from the Farisco traffic lights to the Central Police Station, because I was then going to the Central Police Station. Almost 1.5 hours. In fact, when you get to Cocoa Board, and then the Kingsway to Cocoa Board, the road is being divided into two on Friday. Drivers are using one part, then the orchestras are also there. So the question that you ask yourself, so what is about all these, whether they were military people or they were party footstool that they have put on some combo and they were following and they were doing all these things, today it has come to nothing. It has come to nothing. If today they said that, oh, they have been able to remove the people from there, I will go there, we'll see it. In fact, there was a joint press conference between your assembly here, also Central, and that of AMA, because they share boundary, and Clotte. Just pass circle here, just pass here, just behind you here, and just go and have a look at it.
Back to square one.
Oh, that's what I'm telling you. Just pass here, where they sell the phone to the post of Ghana Telecom traffic. Just go and look at the place. But all these places they came to, you went to buy paint, red paint, and then they mark it. I was even surprised that they went to buy red paint. They should have added, how do you call it, green, black, and white to be NDC colors, and just draw it.
Because in your time you would have added blue, eh?
Because it has amounted to nothing.
Okay.
That's why I said that if he is able to get a political, because I even set an example that look, even when Okovanapwe started, we have our own people criticizing, NDC people criticizing him, said so many things about him, to the extent that the former national organizer of the NDC, Yabwatijan, said, you when we were campaigning, you were in US and you have put your beer, you have put Vaseline and everything, your beer was shiny. And then you have come back, look at what they are doing to us. When Honorable Henry Quarty became the regional minister and he started the same thing from his own party, people would just organize some women to go to the party headquarters and be crying, and I'll say, Juma, and politicians, as we always, thinking about the next election, but not thinking about solving situation. At the moment they say, hey, they will just go in, not fighting the legitimate thing that we are doing, all because we are thinking about the next election that people they are going to vote for us. And since the person is threatening me with the votes, then let's go back to the situation. Me, personally, sometimes my fear of these women is the cars. Look, for cars, anything can happen.
Can knock them down.
Anything. And you see, when maybe you don't go to that side, but when the middle of the road, in fact, the west of it is Katamanto. That's the west of it, up to there's this popular shop around Katamanto when you are turning to the Rollins Park. Lava.
Lava.
That area.
Yeah.
Oh, it will be extremely difficult for you to even get a place to even pass.
Okay. All right. So let me come to you, Honourable. The decongestion was a good one from your, your government. Everybody was happy about it. The question is the sustainability. Was it that you were in too much of a hurry to implement something that you didn't know how to sustain it? I did mention earlier, our cameras are going to be on ground very soon for you to see what is happening right now. We don't want to speak to something that, we don't. Honorable Ebenezer Nartey says it's gone back to square one. Our cameras will show us, has it gone back to square one, or we are still, operating within the good things that your government started?
I think decongesting our cities should not be politicized, because it is something that is very is affecting economic activities and affecting the very business that people are there doing. Because if you occupy the roads and then cars cannot move, cars moving into the city cannot even come in. People get accidents on the pavements and all kinds of things. That, in a way, is pulling back development, pulling back even the progress that we all are seeking to do in the market. And so, if you have a government that is committed to decongesting the market, at least all we need to do is all to motivate the government, to motivate the AMA, and give him our support. You see, we should be praising him as the chief executive of AMA for taking this initiative. Because most of the times people tend to shy away from it because of the political aspect of it. They are afraid that people will come attacking them, the people will reporting them to the top so that they'll be attacked and other things, so that they may be removed on other things. But if you have somebody who has the goodwill and going all out to starting the process, I think we should praise a person.
What about sustainability, though?
Very key.
Because sometimes we do these things.
It shouldn't just be for the camera. It shouldn't be for the optics. It should be something that's what I'm saying. We should be able to support that person, and in order to sustain it. Sustenance is very key as far as decongestion is concerned. Because if you take them out today and the next morning they are back to the street, what happens? So what we need to do as a people is to begin thinking, what are some of the sustainable ways of keeping the people out of the pavements so that the street can be very clean for all of us to patronize, rather than politicize it and say it is not going to work. I think that you should.
I think you have not.
I want to
listen
find out
to what I have said.
Wait,
what I have said. Look, what I said from the beginning is that previous mayors, both NDC and NPP, have initiated the same process. But the point is that the political will for them to deal with it is not there.
It's not there.
So that is very key. So to me, I believe that it's a very good start. It's a very good start.
That's what the starts.
I'm coming. It's a very good start. Yes. And I will urge authorities to give him the maximum support to continue with the process.
Okay, so you see, the thing is, we've seen the start over and over again.
Yeah.
Now, when you want to start something like this, is it not best that you go to the table and see, okay, I want to start school. And I know that if I study, I will pass my exams. Hence, I'll be able to complete. With that mentality, you will study and pass your exams.
Yeah.
Rather than saying, I'm starting school. Whether I study or I don't study, what happens is you might not pass. So when you go to sit and say, we want to do a decongestion exercise, Now you should go to the table and say, in the next 5 years, this is our sustainability plan. So before we even act, we know the road to success. It is not about starting and then failing and saying, oh, you know, the people this and the people that. But you started because you knew that you could continue. That's where we've gotten to now, and that's where the problem is.
Yes, that is true. But I believe that failure in itself is a learning process.
We fail so many times.
Yes, so that is also something that we have learned several times. So maybe this time round, we'll get a very good solution. So what I would urge the AMA to do is rather to implement the bottom-up approach. They should engage these people. They should engage them to find ways and means of also maintaining them in the market so that they are not just chased away. You don't know where they are going. If we are able to find alternative areas for them to do their business, maybe it will help. But if we just go out there, sack them, you sack them and then they go and hide somewhere. When you move, then they come back to the street. It will not be a very good thing. We should be able to find ways and means of keeping them in the market, but not on the pavements.
Okay, all right. Nana?
President, you made a very good point. We've failed so many times and we have refused to learn. I think that on the day when we were discussing the same decongestion exercise, I was seated where Eben is. And then I said that I asked a question that what is the strategic plan after decongestion? You understand me? Yeah. We have done it so many times. Eben made us understand that anytime there was a DC or MC or regional minister that comes, the first step to announce their presence
is decongestion.
It's decongestion. So that he walks through the markets and people will now begin to know that, hey, this is the man that has been appointed. You get it. And we laughed over it, but it was a serious matter. What is the strategic plan after decongestion? Now, I have asked a question before. I said that, are we not able to come up with proper structural architecture to suit our cultural orientation in the build of modern markets here? Now, if you go out to ask these business people why they are on the pavements, they will give you 2 to 3 reasons. Yeah. Number one, that when the stores were built, they were not allocated to they who are already in the market. They give it to other persons who have the money, and then they come to rent it to them.
And those who are government affiliated.
Good.
That's what they say.
That's what they say. I mean, it's been over and over. Number two, they will tell you that the way they have built the structures, okay, they cannot keep their goods up there, and when you are up there, it means that you are not going to sell. Number three, that the customers who come to buy would prefer to buy from the roadside rather than going to look for a car park to park. Now, in today's Ghana, how do you build a market to accommodate over 3,000 businesses? A market that has more than 5,000 to 10,000 customers troop in day in and day out. And you do not even plan to have a parking space. And so, of course, the customers would want to drive by the roadside and buy, because they cannot go and park somewhere and walk 30 minutes to an hour just to come and buy tomatoes or to come and buy a dog chain. No, they would rather want to do it by the roadside. So, I mean, as planners, as developers, let us sit down.
No, you see, we only buy by the roadside because they have put it there. Trust every customer. If I get to the roadside and it's not there, I'll go to the market because I need it. So if I get to the roadside, if I get to Mokola, I want to buy pepper. And I don't find the pepper by the roadside. I will go inside the market to buy it.
The person selling the pepper cannot go and rent that shop that is for about 3,000 Ghana cedis a month.
And to be paid.
How much is the person?
5 years rent.
No, but how much is the shop in Makola? Let's be fair.
Oh.
No, if you say 3,000, let's be fair.
No, I'm not. I'm just quoting.
Okay, quoting.
I do not think that. I don't think a shop in Makola is 500 Ghana cedis.
Or even Medina.
It's how much?
The shop is around 2,200 a month.
You know they
for
have.
5 years.
You know they have stalls. Do you know they have these stalls? Okay. The tabletop stalls. So if you go inside the market, the pepper sellers are not selling in the shop. It's a stall.
How
so you
much
take
is
the
it?
stall where you put your table there and then you sell. If you go inside, that's where you get the fish sellers, you get the pepper sellers.
How much
They're
do
all
they pay?
inside the stalls.
How much do
So do you have idea how much they pay?
I don't want to put out the figures, but trust me, it is not in the thousands.
And how many of such structures are there to be able to accommodate all these people?
Good. So that is where the government comes in. So if you're doing decongestion, how many structures are you putting there to get these people in those places to sell from there?
You see, fortunately, those who are our developers and our engineers have had the opportunity to travel. There are some jurisdictions that you would go that you see how the Palace Mall is like. Okay, there's a huge space.
Yeah.
You would find such a store and you would find people who are selling in such a space. All right, so they are not even in that structure. It's just an open space, just like we even have here. And everybody is selling and making money. The point I am making is, if you are building these market structures for these small business owners, all right, what you should consider primarily is how much they are going to pay. Consider how much they are earning to how much they are going to pay.
Yeah.
It's just like what we call the affordable housing.
Yeah.
How affordable are those houses? You get me? So I think that the developers should sit down properly, discuss with these market people, and then serve them. It's not every time that you sit in your office because you are an engineer or a planner and you come up with your own structural designs and everything. You need to engage the people. Build it to their taste. And that was why I stated that the structure should fit in the cultural orientation of the people. How do they do things? How do they go about their selling? And if you do not put that into consideration, you end up putting up structures
That nobody will go on.
That nobody will go.
Yeah.
You understand?
True.
So let's be a little much considerate when it comes to that. And you see, once we are putting up these structures, we should also consider where the customers will park their cars when they come.
Very important.
All
very
stakeholders
important.
must be factored.
All stakeholders.
All of these things must
So
be factored.
this is what brings us to the fact that it looks like every government rush in decision making when it comes to decongestion because stakeholders are not taken into consideration. All these are not taken into consideration. What we see is for the optics, let's go clear the street. When you are clearing the street, where are you taking them? Where are the people supposed to park? I mean, all these things were not taken into consideration, but the optics were taken into consideration first. And that is why we keep on finding ourselves where we are. Hon Ebenezer Nartey.
President, I still stand by my point by saying that it's a political will that we don't have to deal with issues. The Mokola, let me use the Mokola as an example, and I can give you almost all the markets that we have. When you get to Mokola, there's a difference between the stores and then the sheds. We have the Mokola stores.
The store?
The stores are there for those who sell the cosmetics.
The wholesale.
And then those who sell the cloth and other things.
That's a store.
The store. Then they have the shed. The shed is the one that they are using the wooden structure and then putting on some roofing sheet, and then they have done it like cubicles. Small. And those are the people, those are the ones they give to those who sell tomatoes.
That's the boot structure. That's a store.
That's a stall.
Yes.
That's a stall.
So when you get to Mokora, all those who sell on the streets, majority of them have their shed inside, but they have moved outside. When we talk about car park, the Mokola, there's a car park there. There is a car park at Rollins Park that takes more than 1,000 cars. But because the political will is not there to deal with the people who have come on the street, because if you have a space in the market, inside the market, why do you come on the road and come and sell there? And that raises the issue of people buying from, how do you call it, the roadside. Because of that strategy, those who come and sell on the roadside, they sell theirs cheaper than those who are inside. So if you're able to move all of them inside, so far as you have a space at the market, you have to be there. But some refuse. Look, Rosalind, when you pass in front of graphic, in front of graphic to Brewway, it's nuisance.
Okay. Now we have the PRO of AMA joining us. He's the head of public affairs at AMA, actually, Gilbert Ni Ankara. Good morning, Gilbert.
Good morning.
How are you today?
By grace, and good morning to your panelists, Honorable Eben. Good morning.
No, say good morning to my in-law.
Oh, he's your in-law?
Yeah, that's my sister's husband.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Oh, small world then. All right, so then...
So you have a store in Makra?
I don't.
You
know, that's... Even Abusuka, I don't have how much more.
All right, Gilbert, please, can you help us know the current state of the decongestion exercise that took place about a month ago?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. And let me say on behalf of the Mayor, we are use that.
Okay. Gilbert, if you can start, I don't know, but we are struggling with a bit of network issues here.
Hello?
Yes, good.
Okay, I was saying that we appreciate the comments that have been made so far by your panelists there. And for us as an assembly, we can say that the exercise has been successful, although we have not been able to achieve the entire goal that we want to achieve. It will take some time. Currently, we can say that if you come into the central business district, of course, not all the areas, but some major areas within the central business district, you can see some level of compliance. Especially on the streets. Currently, we don't have the traders positioning their tables and selling on the streets itself.
But are the traders back, though? Are they back?
The traders are not back on the streets. We can say that on authority, what is happening is that, the mayor reintroduced the red line policy, where it's a temporary measure to have the traders also apply their trades within some part of the pavement where we have pedestrians also moving around. So that particular directive is currently working. If you go out there, you see a lot more of the traders adhering to. On the streets, they are not on the street.
But they're on the pavement.
Yes, as for the pavement, we did not move them away from the pavement.
Okay.
Let me state that categorically.
Okay.
What happened was that the mayor reintroduced, we appreciate the fact that a lot must be done to be able to accommodate these traders before moving in to clear them entirely off the central business district, especially on pavement and all that. So to be able to manage the situation, the mayor, as I said, we introduced the red line policy. And as I said, it is not the intention of government to displace any of the traders. So the red line policy allows them to be on the pavement parts. They are occupying parts of the pavement where we have pedestrians also moving. But on the street is a no-go area at all. And that particular directive is working. Last week, for instance, the mayor has been consistently going out there to also engage the traders to get them to understand why they don't have to come onto the street, especially. So currently for us as an assembly, we can say that the exercise is moving on smoothly. People will say they are not seeing a lot of our men positioning. What has happened is that because of the constant engagement, leaders have been selected among these students, and they are strictly adhering to the red line policy.
Okay.
So that is the situation for now.
Fantastic. Now, one thing that people want to know is your sustainability plan. How sustainable is this?
Of course, the political role is very, very important to ensure sustainability. Aside that, constantly engaging the traders to also understand the need not to move onto the streets is also very, very important. Mayor has said that as part of measures to ensure sustainability, pretty soon would be looking at some specific areas within the central business district where streets are going to be blocked for specific trading days, and this will allow the traders also to come in and then do these trading activities. And this is going to be a 24-hour trading service. We are also looking at ensuring that, there are some other markets within the central business district. If you look at markets within our zone, Accra Metropolis, markets such as Slaga, we are looking at markets such as even London market, Tuesday market, and some other satellite markets. We are looking at ensuring that these markets are given some facelift, and government has assured that funds will be provided to complete some of these markets. Also, let me state that the Assembly also began the redevelopment of markets previously. That plan is still in force, and we are going to ensure that areas where it demands that we look upstairs to be able to accommodate more of these trading activities. One of your panelists spoke about planning and how we'll be able to, all these things are being looked at, and we can assure that pretty soon we'll be coming out with this rotational trading system, at least to also help them. And then expanding the market, we hope that when these things coupled with the constant education will go a long way to sustain the exercise. And let me use this opportunity to also commend the media for what they are also doing, monitoring the situation. Some time back, we saw some editorials from a couple of the newspapers commending the Assembly for at least sustaining the exercise to this extent. We are hoping to do more and then introduce these new initiatives to be able to make trading activities more conducive for our traders in the city.
All right, nice. Let me ask you a few questions before you go. You did mention that there will be some days that they will be allowed to sell on the streets, and this is to enable the 24 hours economy to happen, right? And so it will be a roadblock in a way. Do we know which days that we are going to allocate for market days, and when will this take effect?
Of course, all modalities have already been put in place already. Currently, as I speak to you, signages and everything are ready. With respect to the areas where this particular rotational trading exercise would be carried out, we are looking at areas within, when you come into the central business district and you look at some parts in the Kaishi area, we are looking at these particular areas within. Also, aside that, I said that other satellite markets, so if you look at Tuesday market, for instance, there are some lanes that have already been occupied. We are looking at moving these trading activities to these other areas as well. So we are looking at the communities within our metropolis. So if you come to Kanishin, for instance, that's the halfway south, they are within the Kanishin enclave. There are some lanes as well. We are also looking at these particular areas. Now, for the timing, just as I said, currently we are still engaging to be able to come out specifically with how it's going to move in. But all modalities have already been set place. We've engaged the police. Areas to be used are have already been identified. So in the coming weeks, I can assure you that that particular rotational trading system that would ensure the 24-hour trading for our traders will also come into force.
Gilbert, I like the fact that you said in the coming weeks, but it will be great that you mentioned maybe in the month of August we start. We take full force from 1st of August, or we take full force from September, because when we hear in the coming weeks, weeks could become months, months could become years. So what is it? What is on the sheet as it stands now?
For now, I can tell you that we will not enter into the next we are in July, so hopefully we'll begin before the next month. I can assure you.
Before August.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, you said facelift in certain markets, example, Salaga market. When you talk about facelift, when are we to expect the facelift to start?
Currently, there are issues of funding, and we have been assured that we'll be getting some funding to look at expanding these markets. The Mayor, Honorable Michael Papaloti, has also said that he's also looking at other funding to be able to complete these markets. With respect to the timing, I may not be able to give you specific timing, but I can assure you that before the year ends, we'll see some level of development or redevelopment within these areas to be able to give the market some facelift to accommodate more of the traders. Not only the market as well, we are looking at shares. So if you come to the Mokola 31st, for instance, 2 shares have already been expanded there to accommodate more of the traders. So these areas, we are looking at the stores and other shares to also accommodate more of the traders.
All right, thank you so much, Gilbert, for speaking with us, and we are grateful. So where is the next stop for decongestion?
The exercise, I can say, is still ongoing. We're still monitoring. The Mayor consistently engages the traders each and every week. We have the information services van of the AMA also moving in to let them know what they are supposed to do. So we are still monitoring and still engaging. And so we are able to put in these measures. We still teach them why we do not have to be within these undesignated areas. So it's still ongoing.
It's still ongoing. Okay, Medina people need you.
No, it's not part of the AMA.
Let me say that these areas, briefly, if you want to look at the areas of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, we are looking at areas such as Okankwe South, where we have communities such as parts of Circle, Bubuashi, industrial area, Kalishin. Now, when you come to Ododudu, they are looking at some other areas within these areas. And then you come to Ablekuma South. So these are the areas that constitute the Accra Metropolitan Assembly.
All right, okay. Thank you so much.
These are the areas we are focusing on.
All right, thank you so much. Gilbert Ni Ankara, we are very grateful.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so speaking with a head of public affairs for AMA, Gilbert Ni Ankara, who has told us that certain markets are going to receive facelifts, and also they are going to allocate 7 days for a 24-hour trade, which will happen on the streets. So they'll block the streets maybe once a week or twice a week, and then you can go shop for 24 hours. It's going to take effect before the month of August. Hon Ebenezer Nartey, you seem to be laughing. Why? You don't believe it's going to happen?
President, you see, all the things that Gilbert is saying, it speaks for the Assembly. So the plans of the Assembly is what he's communicating to us. But I strongly believe, in as much that he is communicating the plan of the Assembly as the way forward is the most important. President, look, all these markets that he has mentioned, I can tell you for a fact that all those that are coming on the streets, when they are being asked to go to the market, inside the market, there's a space that they can occupy. Look, when you come to Tuesday market that he mentioned, you only get people there on Tuesday because that's where many people from the villages bring their goods to come and sell. Ordinary day, you go there from Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, up to Saturday, nothing. Salaga market. As I'm speaking with you, it's not functioning because they started some renovation, not from President Donado's time. It started from President Mahama up to. And a question I even asked myself, how does it take almost about 12 to 14 years for us to build a market for the people? Now, when you get to Salaga market, it's just opposite post office. So you get to that enclave all over. As for Okanshi, that is mentioned, I don't know where they are going to the market at Okanshi. Because Now, even in front of the store, some of them, and you see, in this case, I don't blame the assembly, and I don't blame government. There are people who have shops at these areas, and they have allowed people to sell in front of them, and they take money from them. So you go to a country, for instance, a shop is there, and people have occupied the shop, and that's the only way that pedestrians also use. I am not in support of we saying that let's draw a line, and it's not started. It started from how do you call it? Okovanapoi. Ajesua came, he did the same thing. Kwacho came, the same thing.
Did you see Circle right now? We showed it on the screen.
What do you say? Is it a current video?
Yes, it's current right now. We are there.
Whistling.
Oh, we are there.
Oh, whistling.
Oh, you think I'm lying?
Is it current?
We are there.
Well, you work with Joy Prime.
Oh, we're all watching.
You have shown videos of Henry Quarton and other people. Okay. That's what I'm asking you, whether it's a new video.
Don't worry. Okay, so Esiedua is on standby.
That's what I'm asking, because you have shown previous ones. That's what I'm asking.
Good morning.
So I actually asked.
You're honorable. Wait.
Oh, but I saw the dress that she was wearing when I came.
You saw the dress.
Yeah, I saw her.
Okay, everybody, good morning to you all. My name is Esiedua Akomia. This is Prime Morning, live on Joy Prime. So I'm currently present at Circle, specifically the Neoplan station. I'm close to the Neoplan OA. The VIP station is just, adjacent where I'm standing at the moment. So the conversation is all about the declutter exercise, or the decongestion exercise that happened on the 20th of May of this year. And within that period, in less than 24 hours, we saw a number of the traders, after they had been sacked to move from the pavements, they started coming back. Now, what's on the table at the moment is over a month since the decongestion exercise happened. What's next? What's happening at the moment? The traders seem to be back. There are some parts of the areas that were decluttered, that we have a few of them who we have it still empty. But in some, like where I'm standing at the moment, close to the OA bus terminal, the traders are back. And so it's very interesting, because the whole point of this decongestion exercise was to remove anything that would obstruct pedestrian and vehicular movements. But unfortunately, we see that these traders are back. And so we are trying to understand, we are just giving you updates on all that is happening at the moment in relation to over a month since the decongestion exercise. So it seems that the traders are back, and we wonder what exactly can be done at the moment. We wonder what exactly would be done at the moment. Would the AMA be back? Would the AMA be back to, for another decongestion exercise? Because it seems that no matter what happens, these traders are still going to sell on these particular areas that they were that the decongestion happened. Would you like to talk to me? Really? Why wouldn't you? Slippers. Okay, so we're trying to see if you can get a number of them just to speak with them and ask them the reasons that they are back. Because, and if you remember, during the exercise, one of the reasons or one of the excuses that some of the traders were given was that regardless of they being sacked from these areas, they were still being given chits by some members of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. Allegedly, they were still giving chits, they were still paying for the opportunity to trade at these very same areas that they were being asked to move. And so they feel that they were being treated unfairly. But like you can see, the traders are back. Now, opposite us, if you can get the...
All right, so Honorable, please hold on. We are back into the studio, and so this is the current state of Circle. So when we spoke with Gilbert, what Gilbert said was that not all traders were moved from the pavement. For the pavement, they were left. Yes. But on the street, they were not permitted to sell on the street. That's what Gilbert said when we had a conversation with him.
No, he didn't say that they prevented them from not selling on the pavement. What he said, they drew a line on the pavement. He said they drew a red line on the pavement.
Yes, but he stated that...
So the pavement was divided into two. And pavement is meant for the pedestrians and not for a market.
He said they were not taken out of the pavement.
They were not taken out.
Yes, that's not, yes. And I'm saying that the pavement is part of the road, which is meant for pedestrians to apply the routes.
We know.
So you expect me that if I'm walking, I should walk on the road? Is that what they are saying?
AMA says they didn't sack them completely from the...
He said that, yes, they didn't sack them, but they drew a line on the pavement for them. That's what he said.
So have you seen the line? Have they crossed the line?
How will I see the line? But your report, that's why I said that.
Anyway.
Send your reporter. Now it is clear. She's confirming what I said.
Oh, right.
You see, Wesley, I am not against it for the betterment of all of us. And I even said that, look, my fear for them is the vehicles.
Wrap up in a minute so that I can move.
Is the vehicles that apply on these roads. And I'm telling you, the reason why, you see, I have been to I'm a crab boy, and I've been to all these markets. And I know there are spaces in the market. Look, Rosemary, if you like, go to Adabaka market right now. It's empty, but the people are outside, selling on the pavement and not on the streets. So that what we need to do is to just have a data of these people. Do you have a shed or a shop in the market? You have to move in. Then we'll know the deficits that we have. That if we have about 2,000 women selling on the pavement or on the streets, and 500 of them have shed or shops, we have to move them. Then let's make provision, just as Gabriel said, that in Mokora, they have done an additional 2. So if they have done 2, how many people would the 2 share that they have done will take? 50, 100 people. Then these 50 people go inside. Then we know that we have a deficit of about 50 or 100 still on the street. How can we get a space and move and do another market for them or another shed for them to move in? But most of these markets, if you like, let your reporters go to all these markets that he has mentioned. Ordinary day. And you see that they are empty sheds that nobody is applying, but they have rather come on the roadside, which we have to make sure that they move inside.
All right, thank you, Honorable.
Yeah, so I think...
we are wrapping up right now.
Yes, so what is key is, like we mentioned, sustainability issues is very key. I'm happy that the AMA is talking about some strategies that they are putting in place in terms of adding more sheds in the market. But like my colleagues are saying, it's good we take stock of people that are on the street. Let's look at the number of sheds that are inside the market and the number of people that are trading out there, and get them back to the market, so that at least you can create some space out there for vehicular movement and then human movement. That would be very helpful enough. And we should not, continue to look on and think that it is okay because of politics. But what is key is that let's do the right thing so that the right thing will help us.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Nana, wait, quickly say...
we need to do more of this.
If we look at the streets,
we need to know
people selling on the streets. And we have to deal with the drivers too. The way they park, the way they stop, and all these.
The assemblies need to do more of public engagements. We need to be able to educate the people to have an understanding of personal safety, you understand? And so it is important that we get to educate the people on some of these things. The community engagements needs to be done across board, as Eben is saying, including the drivers, the GPRTU. All of them ought to be engaged for them to develop that sense of patriotism and nationalism, so that they will know that this is for their own betterment and for the betterment of businesses that they do.
All right, thank you so much. So this one says, good morning, Madam Host. I'm very surprised that Honorable Ebenezer, when his party was in power, everything the EC said was perfect, but now what has happened to the trust just 7 or 8 months ago? Did members of the NPP think that Ghana is their birthright or their inheritance? I rest my case. Ben from Keta.
You must be consistent with what decision you have taken.
Okay, so this one, I don't know what the person is trying to say. The decongestion exercise is a good step in the right direction. Government and the security agencies should be on their feet to ensure compliance and enforcement. We need to clear our cities regardless. We need an alternative for them. Master Planner Junior Kintempo. Good morning, Joy Prime. I remember the first day of the collation of the Ablekuma North parliamentary election at the regional office. The NPP candidate, Ekwe Friye, doesn't have their pink sheet. Some few days later, she was flashing some scanned pink sheets all over. The officials of the EC has so many questions to answer about those scanned pink sheets and its origin. In fact, these scanned pink sheets should be used as one of the reasons the EC leaders should be sacked. Alhaji Lukman is Lagos Kwamena acidity ahafo Etrinsua. How can President Mahama appoint former Beumia aide or being a senior presidential staffer? Is a wrong appointment, or is she more important than NDC members? NDC must learn something from 2016 defeat. A word to the wise is enough. My regards to youngest and hardworking MD of Prestia Sankofa Gold Limited and founder of Esuti South Youth Projects, Honorable Ishak Dauda. All right. Hi, please. The NPP man should... Okay. Okay. Good morning to you and to your panelists. I would like to ask the Honourable Member of Parliament for the Zibela constituency what message he has for his constituents during this rainy season. Karim Sadat Aduku. Okay, so it's rainy season there. They want to know what you have to tell them. Tell them.
It's you, fertilizer.
Tell us something.
The farming community.
Yes, a farming community.
Yeah.
So the message is
the people of Zebula are looking for fertilizer.
They want fertilizer.
Yeah, of course.
So you give them fertilizer.
Yeah, so we work on that.
Okay.
We are mobilizing.
Okay, so they work on.
My brother here said he has enough stock, so he gives
aside the fertilizer, what you should also be looking out for is the ability to be able to get external support to build warehouses so that you can expand the production for the food crops.
Yeah.
Because what they lack in some of these farming communities are warehouses to be able to store
these fertilizers.
Yes.
All right.
What is even important is that the Feed Ghana project is coming to Zebula with the Farmer Service Center.
Okay.
Yeah, so this year they are starting with 50, and Zebula is one of the district.
Okay. Nice.
I'm a member of the.
I don't.
Okay, now I understand.
I don't understand why, apart from rice, oil, other commodities that we grow from here are expensive. I don't understand why.
I know, right? That's so true. Anyway, good morning, everyone. EC has no excuse by saying that because the ballot boxes were burnt, they don't have the pink sheets. Please, the pink sheets are not kept in the boxes. So they should produce a pink sheet or rerun the elections. Musa Abatwa Inasawase says that with all due respect to the NPP stance on Ablekuma North Re-Run is unattainable. I've done this already on WhatsApp. It's rather funny how people defend this ridiculous call from the EC. Honorable, just celebrate your birthday and stop doing it. Good morning. The EC's claim that the electoral results and the voter sheets were burnt is questionable, given that role as custodians to these documents, party representatives are supposed to submit their pink sheets for comparison, with the ECs relying solely on scanned copies of one's pink sheet for collation without a comparable source raises concerns. In light of this, rerunning the election in Ablekuma North constituency seems necessary. If the NPP is confident in their victory, they shouldn't fear re-election, especially in constituency considered their stronghold. Timothy Anabila Bechem. All right, so I think this is all I'll read for now, and I'll say a very big thank you to all of you that stayed glued to your television set from now till now. Today we've gone very, very,
No.
We've done a long haul this morning.
It's 8:09.
Anyway, thank you all so much. A big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise for always having our backs. So with Franco Trading Enterprise, you can trust that you get authentic gadgets. So just go to Franco Trading Enterprise for all your gadgets, with our mobile phones, televisions, and CCTV cameras. Worry no more, because we've got you covered. You can download the app on your phone, which is the Franco Trading app, to purchase any item of your choice, or visit our website for further inquiries, www.francotradingenterprise.com. Franco Trading Enterprise, still phone Papa Perfie. It's been a great show, I must say. A big thank you to you, Hon Ebenezer Nartey. You presented the NPP. It's not easy, It's not easy.
It's easy.
It's not.
It's easy.
It's easy.
Yes.
I mean, the job that you people do is not easy. It's not just you. It's everybody.
Yes.
It's not easy.
For me, I don't see it to be difficult. We just compare apples to oranges when we have our debates. But let me take the opportunity to wish my namesake, Honorable Ebenezer, happy birthday. As today he celebrates his birthday, I pray for good life, I pray for God's strength, and I pray for wisdom to enable him to work as expected of him. To be honest and sincere with you, Rosalie, if you are home or you are in a constituency and you are envy a member of parliament, you envy him for nothing. I know what he's going through because I have gone through, and I pray that God will give him the strength to enable him to fight the task ahead of him. And I pray that this constituency will also help him to develop the constituency for the betterment of them and for betterment of Ghana, Mother Ghana.
Right.
So, Honorable, happy birthday.
Okay.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, Nima.
Nanaya support represented movement for change. Thank you, Nanaya. Oh, yes.
Opportunity to wish me a happy birthday. The seat is big.
Yeah.
That was a seat for Cletus Avoka, if I remember.
Yeah.
And so there is so much of pressure on your
Expectations
seat.
high.
Expectations. Your ability to be able to maintain the level the seat got to is also very important. And I wish you all the best, my brother.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful.
And representing the NDC this morning is the birthday man, Honorable Indibila.
Yes.
Happy birthday
where
to
are we
you once
celebrating?
again. And thank you so much for celebrating your birthday with us today.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
This is a very big platform for the celebration. So
Yes.
already I have celebrated the birthday already. Yeah.
Fantastic. All right.